Hi and welcome to C# tutorial of an overview of data entering system. Let me show you guys how this works. If I click on any of these columns here, I can populate every single component here. And right up here you have a search component there. Let's assume we want to search. You can search for anyone you want to search for if you want, or you can exit if you want. You can delete whatever you intend to delete, or if you click on any of these cells you get this message. You can print, and there we go. There, all you need to do is to click on the print button there. Now let's assume we want to search. Come up here, enter whatever name you intend to search, press enter, or you can always search. Let's assume we want to search for, let's say, Daniel or Samson. I think I do have a name called Samson, and we can click on the search button there. Okay, we can also print that very details if we want, and we can reset. If we reset, we can then add more details in there. As you can see, as soon as I hit on the reset button, we get this. Let's assume we have a new candidate and the name is Felix. Okay, Terry, and the address of Terry is Johnson Highway. There, telephone number of Terry, and email address of Felix Terry, and here it's mail and date of birth. We can change that to and nationality. Let's say it's okay, British. That's fine. Proof of ID. Let's go for passport. All you just need to do is to add Terry's details in there. There we go. That's Terry right there. Okay. And we can delete, like I told you guys earlier on. Let's assume we want to delete. Let's go for Johnson Williams. Okay, take note of that. When I click on delete, there we go. Johnson Williams is gone. Okay. Okay guys, let's start a new project. So I'm going to exit out of this, start a new project, and I'm going to select create new project. Create new project dialog is ready. Make sure you select C#, and I'm going to come right down here and select next. Let's give our project a name. Just call it CS underscore data entry. There, and let's click on create. Okay, now that my form is ready, I'm going to select the properties. Let's right click and get the property out. There we go. And now let's change the size of this form to 1386 by 788. There we go. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come straight to the tools and get panels on board. Grab a panel, draw it that much, and I'm going to come here to the properties of this panel. Let's change border style to fix 3D, and hold on to your control, click and drag, and then click and drag again. We have 3 panels. This one in the middle and one decides to be that much. And I'm just going to move this way, move this to the left as well. There we go. And let's come right down here, drag this down much, and select the 3 panels, and let's drag it all the way. Let's get rid of these first. Let's drag it that much all the way. There we go. My panels are on board now. Let's do one thing. You see the back color? I'm going to change the colors to control dark. The main color is control, but I'm going to change it to control dark for the font. Unfortunately, the panels become dark as well, but I'm going to select all of the panels and come right down here and just change it back to control. Let's delete that. There we go. And that's it. It's now control. Okay, the background is control dark, while the panels are control. Now, okay, the next thing I want to do now is to go straight to the toolbox. Let's grab a label, and I also need a text box. Scroll right down, should be able to get one here. There we go. I need a combo box right up here, and I'm going to change the size of these three components to, let's change the font size to about 20. Come right down here and make that 20 bold. There. I also need a daytime picker, yeah, and this very daytime picker, I'm going to change that to 20 as well. Make it 20 bold. There we go. Let's move it somewhere here. Now, for the text box, I'm just going to arrange it that much, and I'll change the details of this label to, let's say, customer reference. There. And all I just need to do now is I'm going to copy it across, or let's copy it downwards first. Hold on to your control, click and drag. We have 2 there, 3. Now one more here, and this very one is going to be my address. Let's drag it that much. Yeah, something about that. Okay, let's copy this, and we only need about 2. Okay, just drag, hold on to your control, click and drag. I don't need a long one there, so I'm going to get rid of that. Undo that again. Let's do it again. Click, drag. There we go. Right, and this one, oh, I don't need this. Bring this down here and just drag it that much. So that means we need to drag this one more. Okay, that's not looking bad. So the next thing I want to do now is I need 2 of this, one here and one down here. Yeah, about that. Let's change this a little bit, and I need 1, 2 and 3. That will be 4 really. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's grab all of these, click, drag and drop it here. There we go. And I need some buttons here. Come right down here and grab a button. I'm going to need about 6 of those. So let's change the font size of that very button to about maybe 22 bold. Drag it down much to there we go. Right, I have about 6 there. Yeah, I'm going to enhance that later on. Now underneath here, I am now going to add a data grid view right there. Let's move that much here. So I'm not going to do much with the data view yet until I actually created my database. But before that, I will come in here and enhance the look of all of these components. I may have to speed it up, so this one is going to be known as, let's call that first name. Then we have surname here. Let's pin this down. Surname. And this is going to be for address. So I'm going to speed that up now that you guys know what to do. Okay, all done, guys. This is how the interface looks like now. So let's come in here. You see this combo box, and I want to enter some data into it. You see where we have item. I'm going to click on that, and I'll enter female there. Then we have male. So ladies first. Now here, nationality. I'm going to enter the following nationality there. There we go. Those are all of the nationality I'll be entering there. And the third one here, I'm just going to enter the proof of ID. Come right down here, enter the proof of ID, student passport, pilot license, and driving license. Click on OK. There, that is it, all done. If I run it now, this is how it's going to look like. There we go, guys. That's how it's looking right now, but there's nothing happening. The only bit that we have some data in there is this. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to close that. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go to the tools here, right there. Click on the tools. Okay, and come right down here. You see NuGet or NuGet right there. Go across. We want to select the NuGet package for solution. Click on that, and this browser pops up. Let's select the browser here, and let's type in here SQLite. Okay, and then search for this SQLite. Let me look for the one. Okay, this very one, that's the one I'm going to use. You see the one with 7.887 million. Okay, it's official SQLite document engine for both. That's Windows 32 and 64. Okay, so I'm going to select that. Alright, now select the name of my file. That's my file in there. Make sure it's checked, and underneath this enables. Click on install there. And this pops up, preview changes if you want. So I'm going to click on OK, it's fine. And now let's see the feedback underneath here. Okay, successfully installed. Now minimize that, and we can now close this NuGet because I'm done with it now. The next thing I want to do now is I'm going to open up my SQLite browser, and inside this browser I'm going to click on create new. Okay, or you can just go to file and select new. So let's go to where I intend to save my file. I'm going to speed that up, and right there double click on the name of my file and double click on it again. Go right inside the bin, then go straight into the debug. That's where I intend to save this database, and I'll just call it details of customer, of reference, of individual I intend to add in there. So just click on save. There we go, a database called details. So now let's come in here, just give the table a name and call it details as well, and let's click on this add field. The first field is going to be ID, and that ID will be my primary key. Make sure you check all of these. Okay, this means integer, not null, and in here that is going to be primary key, and in here we have a auto increment, and here is unique. So right underneath, click on new, and I'm going to, that's new field, I'm going to call that customer ref. Customer ref is going to be text. Add another field. This one is going to be called first name. That will be text as well. Next one, surname. And the next one, let me call that address. Oh, surname is not enter. I was meant to press enter. Press enter, and here is going to be my address. Press enter. Let's go for mobile. And email. Then we'll go for gender. drag this down so that you can see what I'm up to. The next one needs to be DOB for date of birth, and another one I'm going to call that nationality. Press enter, and finally I'm going to create one for proof of individual. So let's just make that text for all. The ID is the only one with the integer, and that's it. My database is ready. I'm going to click on OK now. There we go. My database is saved to straight into my directory. I can close this now. I don't really need it anymore. Just click on here and save. There, and in here, that's my database should be right inside here now. There we go. That's my database. Okay, minimize that. Now, the first thing I want to do before I go any further is I'm going to take care of this. Double click on exit, and inside the exit I'm going to use try catch whatever error that I might run into, and let's type in cache underneath here, and this cache is going to be exception EX. Let's enter curly braces as well, and in here, okay, I'm going to come right down here. Just let's use an if statement. So I'm going to say if, enter parentheses. So in there I'm going to say if message box dot show, and in there I'm just going to enter my own statement. That will be confirm if you want to exit. Confirm if you want to exit. So that will be my first argument. Enter. Let me enter another argument. This one will be, let's just say data entry system. Second argument. Third argument, I'm going to make that message box buttons. So message box button, that's it right there. Good. Just press enter, and let's select yes or no. All you need to do is press dot and select yes or no, comma again, and this is going to be message box icon. The message box icon, I'm going to say dot question. There. Now I'm going to come in here, let's press enter and say equals. So which that will be dialog equals dialog result. So if my dialog result equals, let's say yes dot yes, then I'm going to open curly braces there. Then I'm just going to say application dot exit, enter parentheses, and there we go. So that is my exit lines of code. Now you see, for the cache, I'm just going to copy all of this instead of typing again. Copy that, paste that right in here. That'll be my message. I will change all of this, get rid of, okay, leave this there. That'll just be my title, and just delete this, change that to ex.message. So the system will actually generate a message, an error message for us, and I'll just leave it like that. Click in here, maybe I should change this question mark to dot information. There we go. There. So this is my exit lines of code within the try catch, and this is the error message that will be generated by the system itself. So let's try it out now. Okay, click on exit. No, I don't want to exit. Yes, I do want to exit. There, that is my exit taken care of. Okay, let's start work with the resets. Double click on the reset. Now I'm going to go for another try catch again. So right underneath here, might as well just copy all of this cache. Just drop it right there. There, and in here, I will start by using for each, let's say control, and that control is going to be txt as just my variable. Okay, inside the first panel, dot controls there. Now I want to enter it inside the curly braces. Let's use an if statement to determine the action. Let's say if txt, which is a prefix for all the text box, is a text box. If it is a text box, this is what we want the system to do. We want the system to clear whatever we have inside the text box. So text box, that is txt dot clear there, and enter parentheses. So that should take care of the clear for all of the text box. So whatever data we have inside the text box will be cleared. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this as well. Just use it for the combo box. So copy, come right down here, paste. But this time around I'm going to change it to CBO because that is the prefix for all my combo box. CBO, and this one is CBO as well. However, instead of a text box, it should be known as combo box. So let's change that to combo box. There we go. And the object here as well is a combo box. But in the case of a combo box, it doesn't have this method clear, so we have to change that to dot text equals that. So from here down here, those are my lines of code for clear. Now one thing I'm going to do now is, before I go any further, because I want a random number for my customer's reference, so I'm going to try and generate a random number here. I'm going to say ran equals new random. So all I'm just trying to do is to take care of everything within the clear function. Then that should be integer reference equals, let's say, ran dot next. And I'm just going to make up some figures for it to round up. So that's, let's say, 2,900 plus up to 32,400, and now let's increase that to about 500 plus. There, 32,576. Right. So those are the numbers that will be generated. But I want you to add a text property. So I'm going to go into my reference, customer's reference in there. I said dot text equals, enter speech mark, so that will be cost plus whatever value that is generated within that random. So I'm going to say convert dot to string, and that will be I reference. Come out here and enter semicolon. There, that is my random function created. Now I'm going to do one thing. I will copy all of this and paste it right inside the initialize, because when the system starts, I want it to automatically give you a reference number. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Once you can see, there's nothing in here now, okay? But if I enter data in here, select this, we can now reset. We need to change that as well. We can reset and do whatever you like. there. This, I need to change this, but I haven't. What's happening here is anytime I click on this, another reference number is generated. That's what I want it to do. So it's doing what it's meant to do. But this one, let's assume I change the date. I would like it to default back to the current date. If I change, nothing is happening here, so I need to change that as well. So let's come right up here first, right underneath initialize. The reference that I've copied, I'm going to paste it in there. So that means the system will automatically generate reference number for the end user. Now let's go back in here to the reset. Right underneath the reset here, I want to be able to reset my what is it called? Okay, date time picker as well. So let's come in here, just grab the name. Right down here, double click on that, and let's come up here. So maybe in here, or okay, right above there, I'm going to paste that in there. Dot reset, I think it's called reset text. There we go. I think there's a parenthesis there as well. There. So when I run it now, the system should automatically generate random numbers for me. There we go. You see that? Okay, in here, if I change the date to whatever I want, and when I click on reset, it should default back to current date. So that's what I want, and that's fine. So with that, for now, I'm going to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I will see you guys shortly.